It's about time we talked about inzoi. You might not expect the life simulation genre's most toxic and mentally ill content creator to say this, but I'm kinda excited about inzoi.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, inzoi is a realistic life simulation game developed by Krafton, and it's the first major competitor to The Sims ever.
Forever, ever, forever, ever.
That literally sounds crazy to say, but for 25 years, The Sims has not had any competition. And to be honest, at this point, with The Sims 4,
What I'm seeing right now is marbles?
baby, it shows. Krafton, the company behind this game, is worth around $11 billion. They're rich. Like, they got that 10-cent money rich. So inzoi is also the first financially viable competitor to The Sims, and my hope is that the mere presence of inzoi gives The Sims the kick in the ass that it needs. So inzoi is launching on March 28th. That's less than 2 weeks away. However, it is coming in early access, which, can I just say, you guys know I always give it to you straight. Early access used to be something that only small studios and indie devs would do because they needed the capital to continue developing their game. But the reason we're seeing huge publishers like Krafton and EA doing early access today is because they're using you, the consumer, as free playtesters, which to me is honestly laughable. An $11 billion company doing early access is very funny to me. So I have no sympathy for them, and inzoi, you're not fooling me. Minor bugs and a few missing features aside, this game needs to be incredibly solid on March 28th. I will be playing, I will be reviewing, I'll be making a lot of videos, so subscribe if you're ready for that mess, because as you guys know, I do not hold back.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of not holding back, the inzoi influencers have been hyping up this game for over a year at this point, and a few months ago, I predicted the creation of the inzoi partner program. We're just now seeing the beginnings of the inzoi partner program.
No comment.
And guess what I just saw? The Krafton Creator Network was established last month, seemingly to promote this game. That's sort of given Sims 4 2.0. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not a fan of big game publishers having these creator networks because I think they are kinda anti-consumer. So to all them hoes in the Krafton Creator Network, I got my goggles on and I'm watching your ass.
What the hell?
All that being said, the last time we saw gameplay from inzoi, it was kinda a mixed bag.
It was good. It's good. It's a good thing. I think overall it was a good thing. It was a good thing to have happen.
I made a first impressions video about inzoi last year. The positives were that it looks great. It's got a lot of features that The Sims doesn't have. The character creator was really good. It has cars, an open world. The environments look really amazing. The negatives for me were that the gameplay seemed to lack some depth, and overall, the vibe felt sort of childish, which was really strange because they put so much emphasis on it being a realistic life simulator, but at the same time, it seems like they were trying to appeal to ages 12 and up. Ultra realism and kid friendly are not really analogous to me, so it still seems like a bizarre choice. But there is some good news when it comes to this, because compared to the last time we talked about inzoi, I was really surprised to see that the game's age rating has actually changed, and it now has the same rating as The Sims 4, which is T for teen, or GRAC 15, which is South Korea's rating system. At the time of the character demo last year, it had a GRAC 12 rating, so the rating, at least in South Korea, went from 12 and up to now 15 and up. It's not a huge change, and I think they still need to reevaluate what their player base wants. Despite the increase in the age rating, unfortunately, based on a recent developer Q&A, it does appear that they're still trying to market inzoi to a wide range of ages.
Oh, that's not going to get a 15 rating. That's not going to get a 12 rating. We wanted to provide a game that was widely available to as many age groups as possible.
They really beat around the bush when they were asked about this, but it seems like there's still no simulated shagging in the game.
In inzoi, will you be able to have interactions for the purpose of creating babies? It's there, sort of, but maybe not to the level that everyone probably would have been expecting.
A lot of you know that The Sims has this feature called Woohoo, where basically your characters roll around under the covers, but in inzoi, as far as we've seen in playtest, they don't even do that. When you tell your characters to try for a baby, there's just a cutscene that plays where your characters hug by the window. It's kinda like the Kids Bop version of Woohoo. I also want to add that as of the last playtest, your characters could not shag unless they were married. Now hopefully they've changed that, because who doesn't doesn't love a bit of adultery in their Sims game, am I right? We all know Sims players love to get their simulated freak on, and they don't want to be cock-blocked by the game saying that their characters can't shag because they're not married. I don't know, I think it's kind of weird that the devs are playing it this safe, especially considering that they don't have to, because we know The Sims 4 has the same age rating and they're allowed to get away with a somewhat simulated shag, but I guess they're trying to be extra careful. I also want to note, and this caused a lot of controversy last year when I talked about this, as of the last 2 playtests, there's no same-sex marriage in the game.
I created 2 female Zois, and I kind of built up their friendship, and then I built up their romance, and then I never got the option to have the Zois marry. And it has been flagged many times to the inzoi team. Not good that this is not included in the game at this point, and I guess all eyes will be on them to include it for the next version of the game.
So inzoi, when it comes to this same-sex marriage-ish, if you're telling me I can't create 2 beautiful lesbians with BBLs and have them get married and start a family, I quit. And if March 28th comes and my lesbian lovers cannot have a wedding, Scout's honor, I promise to you I will spend the next 10 videos roasting Crafton, roasting inzoi, all of the inzoi influencers. I'm gonna roast the driving mechanics, them babies with the fuck-ass heads. Don't play with me and my lesbian lovers in this game, okay? Another thing that was discussed in the developer Q&A is that the characters wear towels when they take a shower.
When the Zoid takes a shower or takes a bath, they go in wearing a towel, and that's a real deal breaker for a lot of people.
I thought this was really funny because the developers actually asked people in the live stream to suggest alternatives to wearing the towel when they shower, because apparently the devs didn't want to do like a sensor or a blur because it was too revealing. But anyway, one person in the live stream suggested that they could just switch into bathing suits when they shower, which I thought was a really good suggestion, but the guy hosting the live stream sort of just shot this down and was like, no one wears a bathing suit in the shower.
Swimwear. No one wears a swimwear to the shower.
Isn't it a lot more strange to wear a towel when you shower? Have I been showering wrong this whole time?
Yeah.
Look, I know there's going to be people out there saying you shouldn't be worried about how sanitized inzoi looks or appears to be because there's going to be mods that'll fix some of these issues, right? No, bro. If enough players are expressing disappointment with certain features, the developers should be listening to that and making adjustments to the game based on player feedback. But obviously, I know when it comes to these more provocative features, there are certain limitations they have. Secondly, is it possible that mods will be released that will satisfy players looking for a more adult life sim experience? Of course, I expect that as well, but official mod support is through CurseForge, which does not host adult mods, so there's going to be more work on both the modders' end and the players' end to get these types of mods in inzoi. And in addition to that, as far as I'm aware, mod support will not be coming to inzoi during early access. So to all the freaks out there who was hoping to lose your virginity vicariously through inzoi, don't hold your breath, because it could take months or even years to get those adult types of mods in the game. So my point is, I want players to be cautious about saying things like, mods will fix it, because it's not as easy as it sounds, and that shouldn't be the default. Now, switching gears, over on Twitter and Reddit, there has been a lot of discourse around inzoi's recommended specs. One of them, Sims 4 diehards over on Twitter, said that inzoi will be inaccessible to most life sim players, and a lot of people in the comments and retweets were agreeing with this guy. We can't speak for every Sims player, but inzoi specs, especially on the high end, are pretty insane. You gotta have a gaming PC from at least 2024 to run it at max settings. On the lower end, it's a little more reasonable, so you should be able to play on the minimum settings if you have a gaming PC from around 2020. I know the graphics card for the minimum settings, the NVIDIA 2060, was released in 2019, but I'm not sure that a lot of Sims 4 players or cozy gamers and the like have those kinds of specs. So I think some of the Sims audience will be there playing inzoi. I just don't think they're going to capture the whole crowd, you know? Moving on, prior to this developer Q&A, the inzoi team released a message on Discord stating that they would not be answering any questions about the game's pricing, including the cost of inzoi and plans for monetization, such as DLC, etc. It's sort of a red flag to me that they have not said anything about the price of the game or plans for monetization of the game since inzoi was announced, like, what was it, 2 years ago? But apparently on March 19th, 10 days before launch, they're going to officially reveal the price. The only explanation I can see for them waiting this long to reveal the monetization plans is that they think it's possible that their plans for monetizing inzoi will turn off some players. Because if you think about it, if they had announced the price and things earlier, more people would have been able to pre-order the game, because you cannot pre-order on Steam if there's no price listed. You can only wishlist. So the fact that they waited 10 days before launch, I don't know. There's no way. They have 70 people working on this game. They probably spent $50 million, and that's a lowball estimate, developing inzoi. They have to have some idea about what the monetization is. So my question is, how crazy are we talking?
Yes.
Something I said last year is that I fear Krafton has seen what EA has gotten away with in terms of milking Sims fans to death, and it's possible that they might do the same thing with inzoi. Maybe I'm being cynical, but they've spent a lot of money on this game. They have to recoup their investment. Krafton is really infamous for excessively monetizing their games, and the lead producer even said something crazy recently about wanting to update inzoi for the next 20 years.
The inzoi game director Kim said that the goal was set by Krafton to update inzoi for the next 20 years.
That's all given red flag, bro. But I want to reiterate that I'm very impressed with certain parts of the developer Q&A, how much work they've done on this game, and just inzoi as a product. My intentions are never to discredit the hardworking and talented individuals involved with this game or any game. My only wish moving forward with inzoi is that they work toward the goal of full transparency, and that the fans of this game maybe just chill out a little bit. I really want inzoi to be good. I think it could do wonders for the life sim genre, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Yet, I can't shake this lingering fear that with just a few steps in the wrong direction, inzoi could become The Sims 4 2.0. And we'll leave it at that.
Fucked up for the night. Just need to get my money right. You fucked up for the night.